Hi, and welcome back to our show. Today, we are launching into pumpkin season. It is one of my favorite times of year. So let's make some pumpkin cupcakes with a spiced frosting on top. Let's go. The first step that you want to take is one bowl is going to be for all of your dry ingredients. So you could see I'm using all-purpose flour, 1 cup, and then all of these different spices that you'll be seeing popping up on your screen. I call them the halvesies. You need ½ teaspoon of all of those great fall spices like ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, and allspice. You're whisking that up so that it's mixed up all together, and then you set that aside. At this point, feel free to turn that oven on to 350 degrees so it's ready for us by the time this batter is done. In a different bowl, you can use a hand mixer or your KitchenAid, and you're going to put your softened unsalted butter and your white granulated sugar. You're going to whip that up until it becomes smooth and lighter in color before you add your pumpkin puree. You will see in your pantry there are 2 different types of pumpkin, technically 3 if you want to do organic, pumpkin puree or pumpkin pie mix. You don't want the pumpkin pie mix because we already added all of our own seasoning. We are controlling the destiny of our pumpkin cupcakes today. So once you add in that pumpkin, you're also adding a nice heaping spoonful of vanilla. If you want to be exact, it's 1.5 teaspoons, and you whisk that up before you add 1 large egg. Whisk it again, and then add a second egg. You're allowing the batter to be incorporated before our final step of adding those dry ingredients in there. You're going to whisk it up just until it's incorporated so you don't create a tougher bite. You don't want that gluten from the flour to be building like a pizza dough. You know, shout out to Cam with his pizza video that is doing really well right now. But in a in a cupcake, you don't want that. You want it to be soft and sweet and just not have a lot of that gluten built up. And we're gonna put them in the oven for 20 to 23 minutes or until your toothpick comes out clean. Now this is my favorite part. I am that person who will just eat the top of the cupcake mostly because of the frosting. So we're gonna wanna take 2 sticks of softened, unsalted butter. Again, put it into a clean bowl, start whisking that up, and we're gonna be adding some spices to this. Cardamon is a little polarizing of a spice. I personally love it. It makes me think of the fall. It's a great scent, aroma, and flavor. It's up to you if you want to add this. If you are hating on cardamom, then sub out cinnamon spice. And then 1/4 cup of milk. I use whole milk, but you can use your preference. It's just to loosen up that frosting before we then add 4 to 5 cups of powdered sugar. Now, great job to Cam. You can see that he's filling that piping bag with a star tip on the bottom, and he's evenly squeezing that pastry bag and putting some frosting on top. You can see it just slices right in there, and you can see how soft and bouncy that cupcake is. What's your favorite cupcake recipe? We would love to know. Comment below. Let us make your cupcake. We have some ideas coming up for future videos. We would love it if you liked, commented, and subscribed. And we will see you next week.